It's that time of the year again where we pull out our wallets to redeem ourselves of operators not gotten in the last 6 months or that we have skipped for greener pastures. The 6-star Selector is finally here, giving you the best value item that you can buy in the game. With the increased base power for most new 6 stars, the 6-star Selector has only increased its value as time has passed, and they are even kind enough to throw an extra 10-pull ticket in there as a bonus. To keep this video short, I will only be talking about the operators that I would rank in the top or best value category. This is because you're going to be spending $30 or more depending on your currency, so I want to recommend operators that will have the greatest return on your $30 investment. Middle and low priority operators are mostly left to players that are looking to round out their roster, or late game players getting the operators they want or have missed. There are plenty of strong operators in the middle priority tier, but I don't feel that they warranted $30 being spent on them. The 6-star Selector for Zwillingstürme goes up to and includes ENS. With all the intro stuff out of the way, let's talk operators. Bagpipe is still the quintessential vanguard. She can lane hold, and on her S3 she becomes a guard for 20 seconds. More importantly, she enables you to use the flag pipe opening, essentially nullifying any DP problems you may have had. The quicker you can put your team on the field, the easier the stages will become. Mountain is the easiest operator in the game to use, and will be a benefit to new and intermediate players alike. You place this guy down, and 5 seconds later, he lives up to his name and becomes a lane holding monster that kills anything that comes to him. He barely needs any support at all, allowing you to focus on dealing with problems on the stage, knowing that Mountain won't leak. KOB is not the best caster in the game. Hell, she's even the second best caster in the game. However, the dub dog is a requirement for late game content. With us global players just having played Design to Strife, I don't think I can overstate how much easier life is made by having KOB on your team, or how much of an impact she has for endgame content. This is why she's the only operator that comes with a big asterisk. This recommendation is mainly geared towards mid-game accounts, or endgame accounts that are lacking a dub dog of their own. She is a requirement for CC1 Pyrolysis, and is heavily used in CC2 under Dawn. While a newer account can make great use of KOB, she's also a very big investment since she needs module level 3 to perform as the endgame content mainstay that she is. She lands on this list purely for her use in endgame content if that is something you wish to tackle. Ifrit, the only blast caster in the game, is good. There's a reason why there are things in the game called Ifrit lanes. When there's an Ifrit lane present, she absolutely shreds enemies into nothingness and can easily be the MVP of the stage even if the squad has Muenar in it. She will also make your life easier in CC1. Ifrit is good, and Ifrit will always be good. Suzu is still one of the best supporters in the game. With her S3, she allows you to gain a massive boost in damage due to the fragility she applies. She has an immense amount of CC due to her slow, and she's able to keep her units alive since she also heals everyone within her expanded range. If you need to be sold on Suzu, just go look at any H13 4 clear and her usefulness becomes apparent. Also, if you're a victim that plays SSS, her S2 with 5 stacks of ASPD is pretty funny. Gnosis is one of the best CC characters in the game. He will halt massive groups while also allowing your units to kill them much quicker due to the frozen debuff he applies. Gnosis is someone you can bring to any stage, and there will be a tile on the stage that will allow him to fully CC the big waves of enemies that are dangerous. Just like Suzu, if you're a victim that plays SSS, Gnosis is a great operator to bring. Saria is currently the best healing defender in the game. Saria is a solid M9 candidate, which is a testament to how good of an operator she is. She provides great utility with all her skills. She's also able to give your operators SP anytime she heals them, which is a nice bonus. Saria is just an all-around good operator. Mudrock is one of 2 enmity units on this list, a great lane holder that will survive most things that you throw at her. Mudrock also comes with a nice skill ceiling. Her S2 is a super simple skill, making her nice for newer players that want something easy, while her S3 is a skill that is much harder to use effectively, but is nice for players that want to expand their brains and use her in a more creative fashion. A very nice defensive unit. Penance is the second enmity unit, which is not a big surprise. Just like Mudrock, she's also a great lane holder. One main difference being that Penance is a bit harder to use due to her main skill being a defensive recovery skill that requires 20 SP compared to the 4 SP of Mudrock. The second main difference is that Penance fills a more offensive role compared to the more defensive Mudrock. Penance on S3 becomes a killing goddess that is untouchable while her skill is active. A very nice offensive unit. That rounds out the list for my top unit choices. We now enter my best picks for this 6-star Selector, which will be mostly populated by the big damage dealers for obvious reasons. Continuing with defenders, Horn is another M9 candidate that can be used in multiple different situations. While she does have a funky range, her damage is not to be trifled with. She can blow up the opposition from a safe distance, supporting your front line. Or she can be placed to hit enemies that are out of the way and hard to reach areas. A great damage dealing unit. Poziemka is a great high DPS unit that offers a large amount of flexibility with her typewriter. The typewriter gives Posey pseudo-global range that allows her to deal with enemies all around the stage before they become problems for your squad. When Posey is placed next to her typewriter, her damage on S3 is a sight to behold. Aya is still the queen of casters and cements her place as the best caster in the game. She's the best arch sweeper with her S3 that is able to do high amounts of damage to multiple enemies. She also makes a whole archetype of casters irrelevant by also being the best AoE caster in the game with her S2. While her health might let her down, she won't let you down. Golden Glow, the pink cat dog, comes closely behind Aya. If you're looking for a high damage with global range, then Golden Glow is the best option to go with. On her S3, she's able to deal with enemies before they become problems, or she's able to save your whole run by targeting anyone that is near the blue box. I know she has saved me multiple times with that global range. Her S2 is also a nice AFK skill if that is what you're looking for. The Old Well makes her appearance on the list for being a great medic that isn't a medic. Calcet's utility comes from Monster in her S3. True damage will always be useful no matter the event or stage you bring her to. Add that with Monster also being 3 block, and Calcet's overall usefulness is easy to see. Reed Alter is the queen of IS4, and also a good medic. She's able to deal massive amounts of damage while also providing good healing to your units. Reed also helps your casters of the squad by applying Arch Fragility to enemies during her skill. She's a great pick for chapter 13 as she's able to clean up the endless swarms of slugs without a sweat. Ines is the queen of utility. While she may not be able to nullify your DP problems like Bagpipe, Ines brings an incredible amount of utility to your squad. Ines's invisibility reveal alone would be worth picking here, but she does even more. Her binds are very useful in helping units by keeping enemies in place before they reach the front line, or keeping them in place so they don't escape the range of your units. She also provides slow with her Shadow Sentinel, adding even more utility to Ines's kit. She can do most of these things without even having to be deployed on the field. Her damage output and ability to steal stats and skill is just a cherry on top. There is not much to be said about Surtur. You know what she does. She says the funny line and becomes immortal and deals a lot of damage. She's one of the main boss killers in the game. And we finally reach my top pick for this selector, and it is unsurprisingly Moinar. Just like Surtur, there's not much to be said beside activate Moinar's skill. He's the best sweeper in the game currently and will make any stage a cakewalk. Moinar is the best bang for your buck if you're looking to fully power up your account. Some addendums I would like to add to help inform your choice. When looking at the next 6 months of Gold Cert shop debuts, Calcet, Gnosis, and Golden Glow are set to appear in the shop. Gnosis and Golden Glow will appear in the next coming months, so the more patient of you could forego picking them on this selector and guarantee them via Gold Certs once they debut in the shop. Calcet, as the uploading of this video, is currently available in the shop. There are 2 notable banners that could influence your choices, the first being the next Join Operations banner. This will feature Surtur, Suzerain, Posey, and Mizuki. This would be a good banner for those of you that are missing all 3 or are missing 2 of them. The next is Reed Alter's rerun, where she will have a 50% rate up. For the gamblers out there, which is all of you, this could be taken into consideration if you wish to pick Reed. A small note on the Saria versus Shu debate if you're looking to pick Saria. While both serve different purposes, Saria applies Arch Fragile, gives SP, and slows, while Shu increases attack and attack speed while having the funky teleportation mechanic. If you are not hurting for a defender, it might be best to wait 3 months and pull for Shu. Both are good to have, but Saria is also in the top operator recruitment pool, so she is able to spook you at any time for free. In the same vein, Bagpipe, Suzerain, Kyobi, and Ifrit are all in the top op recruitment pool. While they are not guaranteed, if you are patient, it could be better to wait for top ops to get them, or if they get a rerun in the Gold Cert store. A brief guide on how to go about choosing. I would advise that you improve any amount of damage you might be lacking, which is why Moinar is my best pick. More damage means you can deal with bosses easier and just makes stages in general easier to clear. If you already have the main DPS options, then you should look at any roles you might be missing and pick the characters based on that. Other than that, till next time.